What is your motivation in life?
I like these questions.
Thank you.
Good, man. They make me think. What is my motivation in life? I think that I kind of give a twofold answer, but they go hand in hand, I think. Number one is just, and I really had this thought, I'd probably say since I went pro in poker, so I was really when I've made it at a forefront, which is just to think about how can I have as much joy in my day-to-day life and what I'm doing all the time. Like how can I make it get it as close as I can to 100% being in that state of like this is fucking great. Whatever I'm doing, whether it's you're eating delicious food, you're having amazing sex and having tons of orgasms, you're playing poker and having fun, you're going to the gym and you're like, this is like the best song ever to work out to right now, whatever it is, and really just keeping that in the forefront of my mind. And lately, I've sort of added on to that a sense of mission and giving back in life, which ties into the coaching because my long term goal or mission is to really bring sex god status and sexual energy mastery and just really helping men show up as real men in the world and making that a lot more normal. Just how I don't know, guys talk about porn all the time and they're just like, oh yeah, porn. It's just this standard thing, especially for poker players. It's like pretty much like what most of them do. And instead just having the conversation around other possible options, understanding uh, what the effects of your actions actually have on you, and then making a conscious decision of what feels more serving. If you still want to keep doing exactly what you're doing, that's great, but be educated. I want to bring that knowledge and education out there into the world, and that lines up with me being my highest joy because it feels great to do it. Just even now, like I haven't been doing this for years and years in terms of my sex god status coaching, but I still have people like reaching out to me who I have no idea who they are. Just like add me on Facebook, like, oh yeah, I saw your post, and like this gave me permission to like start doing more of this in my own life and exploring this type of thing. And I'm just like, wow, like that's really cool. And even like a lot of women reach out to me and they actually say, wow, it's so great to actually see a man who is exploring these topics and talking about the effects of like porn culture and relationships and how difficult it can be to be satisfied in a monogamous relationship if you're still watching porn because of the neurochemistry that it puts in your brain of not being able to be satisfied with one woman. Like that's a huge topic that I've been kind of diving into a little bit more recently and talking about. And yeah, just stuff like that. I like putting it out there because it's kind of a scary thing to do, to just be like, hey, here is my stuff and my shadows and my shit that I'm working on and that I'm not perfect about, but I've made a choice and I made a decision, and I want to share that so I can have a positive impact on other people in the world.
That's a very. If you said that's a good question, I can say that's a very good answer.
Thank you, man. Thank you. I appreciate that.
Okay, next one is one of the seems like getting a pattern that I ask every second guy definition for success and definition for happiness. You
Mm.
fall into definition for success.
Okay. Okay. So my definition of success, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
I feel like success is something that a lot of people, and men especially, really chase from that mission accomplishing masculine standpoint. We want to achieve and we want to have something to show for all of our hard work, a lot of times to attract in a nice looking lady, and really show that we're made of something. But we misconstrue what it actually feels like. Like we think it's always elusive, that we're always having to do another thing to achieve success. But I believe success actually comes from within, just like self-love, loving yourself. You're never going to be able to feel love from somebody else unless you love yourself first and foremost. So I believe that success is actually achieved through diving into self-love within yourself and doing whatever practices you need to do, journaling, meditation, figuring out ways to move your body, to express yourself, to really be true to who you are. And when you get to that point and you're on that journey, because it's an ever changing and evolving journey over time, then you realize, okay, cool, I can make 5K a month or I can make 50K a month, but how you feel on the inside is what actually matters. And take it from me, I've made shit tons of money playing poker over the years. I've also had, lost tons of money in certain, business things, whatever. And the big thing that really mattered to me is the times that I felt really good, and the fact that I was able to feel really solid, I would say fairly, like not perfectly, not all the time, but especially lately, more and more to the point where now I'd say it's a pretty consistent thing. And that's success for me, just feeling really good within yourself. And then when you feel that, everything else, when it comes to the actions that are going on in your external world, are able to just flow a little bit easier. And you actually might find that you start making more money. You have more success with the kind of women that you want. You start having deeper and more satisfying friendships, and everything's just a little bit nicer.
I'm unsure that the my favorite question of the podcast. If your story would end in 15 minutes, what would be the title of it and 1 to 3 sentence description?
So essentially, this is I was gonna if I was gonna like die in 15 minutes, and then what's my three? Okay, cool. Just double confirming it. Just double confirming it. Wow, that's a good question. Title and then 2 to 3 sentence description. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. You can take a minute. Like I always give a
Yeah.
minute for
Yeah.
someone who
Yeah.
hasn't seen, because that's a question I asked everyone. But like,
Yeah. I don't think I saw that question actually, because I haven't always made it through. Like, because how because you get action.
yeah, that's the last question, obviously.
Okay. This was a man who achieved his mission in life, as the title. And I'm just assuming this is a future tense rather than it's ending right now. I'm just like, optimism. Let's go. Or if it ended right now, another title could also just be this is a man who is dedicated to his mission, or was a man who was dedicated to his mission.
A
And
clue I can give you. Oh, sorry for interrupting. A clue I can give you. Like most of the guys pick like a book cover. Like at the moment, if you could, had to release a book,
yeah,
basically.
that's a good call.
That's kind of cheat in this one because I didn't want to go that road, but most of the guys have went there, so I let you go there. So
Yeah, but I don't want to cheat. You know me. I'm very like I want to keep it authentic. I feel like could be a man on a mission. That could be a cool one. I like that. That could be a bookish title, but also still
okay,
apply to
okay,
this.
man on the mission and
Yeah.
description, or the like clickbait line.
You can achieve anything that you want in life as long as you set your mind to it, and you believe in yourself. You can have as many full body orgasms as you want. You can have epic sex. You can let go of society's conditioning and create your own reality however you want it to be, and live a fully satisfied life. That's 2 sentences, I think, kind of a run on for the second. Third sentence is don't chase the idea of success. Instead, look within and learn to love yourself, and realize that is all you actually need in life.
All right. To let myself out of the trap, I will ask you a clickbait line because I usually make a cover, book cover.
Ah,
So what
okay.
would you like to get a clickbait?
I feel like I wanna drop like something about sex god status. That's what I want.
Yeah,
That's what I'm putting. I'm so
go for it, man.
So it would be like one like a sentence, or it would be like a you know 5 or 6 word type.
Whatever you can fit on a book cover.
Okay, so I mean, you could be like, okay, so you start out with like sex god status, and then underneath it there'd be a little thing. How to,
So remember now, it's Man on a Mission,
yeah,
title.
man on a mission.
It's sex gun status.
Yeah,
And
this is great. This is gonna be hilarious. I love it. Like a sex god in the inside and outside of the bedroom.
sold.
Why not? Let's do it, man. I'll get my copies going. I need to freaking write a book. People have actually told me like you should write a book. I'm like, really? But then I think about it.
We have a title now and we have
Yeah, man.
clickbaits and everything. So
Dude,
I
I
will
love
make a
it.
cover. So there is actually, when people say it, there is a cover. So
That's so
you
cool,
can
man.
you
I love that. That's great. That's an awesome idea, by the way. I think that's a strong one.
uh, before I ask you the last message to Team 651, I
Mm.
will let you to hit with the question if you want. If you still have that question to
Oh,
go.
yeah, yeah, yeah. So the question I wanted to ask you is, do you feel like, what's the best way to put this? When you thought about doing this and doing the podcast type thing, has it been what you expected it to be? Or like what's something different that you didn't realize that would happen, like a lesson you learned or something you learned about yourself that came from doing this that you weren't expecting?
This is a good one. Yeah. I thought that it's easier than it actually is.
Mm.
Because at first I made up some excuses like, oh, like how I can get people and all that, but I realized like it's not that hard to get people to come and talk,
Yeah.
and it's more on me to actually reach out to other people. Obviously, it's so weird. Like if I had to do it in Evolve, I wouldn't have a problem because I knew most of the guys.
Yeah.
But like first 3-4 interviews were very easy because I did them with the people I knew,
Yeah. Yeah.
and afterwards I need to reach out to people like I haven't talked to or something like that.
Mm.
That was
It's
the
good.
hardest part for me. But yeah, I didn't know that I will get so much energy from doing these interviews. Like after
Mm.
every time after interview, like the sad part, not sad, but the worst part about it is the editing stuff
Hmm.
because it takes a lot of time and all that.
Yeah.
Shout out to Tom for doing the halftime shows in Twitch. That's like I can
Yeah.
only imagine how long it takes to do
He's a
those awesome
freaking
shows.
genius at those. They're freaking great.
Yeah, but apart from editing, I absolutely love doing the interviews, and I love the chance that like it's very rare that the interview goes the way I expected it to go. Like I asked a question, I kind of guess where this could go,
Yeah, yeah.
and then people that just hit me with a completely different answer,
Yeah. That's
and
that's the
it's so
fun.
awesome. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the fun part about human interaction, right? You can guess, but you don't really know.
Yeah, yeah, and then like you kind of teach yourself to stop guessing and just enjoy the ride and like
Presence, be present in the moment.
presence. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, beautiful, man.
So yeah, that was a good question. I liked it, and you're not the first one that wants to ask me questions, but you're the first one who actually did.
Well, shout out to me for popping your cherry.
Yeah. All right. It's been amazing chat. You surprised me with some answers as well. I think people will enjoy this one as much as I did.
Mm.
What's your last message to Team 6x1?
I would say that I feel like you're in good hands. I think it's a great spot to be. I think it's very, very well run, and you've got a great group of guys. You've got great coaches. You know, I know some of them personally. And yeah, I'm happy to be here. I really enjoy the community. I think it's a great vibe, and just take full advantage of the help and support that you can get. I mean, this is coming from somebody that ran his multiple stables over the years, and you're here to learn. You're here to network. You're here to meet people. Don't be afraid to reach out to somebody and say, "Hey, what's up? You seem kind of cool. Like, what games are you playing, or do you want to study?" Like, don't feel like you need to be in your own box, and really take the chance to yeah, talk to other people, push your comfort zone a little bit, and that also will benefit you in the long run when it comes to poker, because I think that studying with other people and being in the stable and having that community atmosphere is really, really helpful towards long-term success. And it all just comes down to what effort you're willing to put in and how willing you are to think outside the box to achieve that success.
Yeah, I agree with all of that.
Cool, man.
Okay, thank you, Gabe, for coming over. It was a pleasure and fun chat.